Hello, my name is Dan and welcome to Team Theme. In this video I'll be focusing about Britain's greatest escape, also known as Alton Towers, to rank their best rides available on the park. Remember that this is my personal list and all reasons for placements on the list are justified and explained for their position. Let's begin with number 10. The first ride to make it on the list had to be either Octonauts or the Congo River Rapids, as they each do their job decently as they should do. But then eventually I came to the conclusion that Congo River Rapids is a better overall family ride, as it offers a peaceful layout across the Katanga Canyon and opportunities to interact with riders on the Runaway mine train. Obviously it didn't make it to a higher rank on the list as it hasn't got anything revolutionary to offer and it hasn't got a themed environment, but the rapid settles perfectly at Alton Towers and isn't really talked negatively about. Number 9. The neighbour to Congo River Rapids makes it to the 9th rank, as this mini coaster is such a classic ride for Alton and always has a fun atmosphere when staff are operating. The name Runaway Mine Train is absolutely perfect for this attraction, and the theming, though looking old, fits very well. The coaster is the ideal attraction for children who aren't that keen on intense thrills but like a mediocre experience, unlike the flat Octonauts roller coaster adventure. The ride isn't a main attraction for the park, which is why I didn't make it higher in the list, but don't let that make you avoid the coaster when visiting. Number 8. The 8th spot on the list goes to the Dark Forest only freefall drop coaster named 13. 13 is quite a bizarre ride as it's themed for a mature audience when the coaster's experience isn't particularly overwhelming. If we forget its dark theming and marketing and called it a family coaster, this ride would be perfect. However, unfortunately, we're given two uncorresponding categories that don't fit together. The actual theming for 13 is amazing throughout the queue line and the ride itself, and as a family coaster it offers a decent layout, but blended together it feels wrong in my eyes. The coaster isn't boring and can offer a nice experience, but I firmly believe the category was misused. However, definitely ride it and ignore the flaws I have mentioned. Number 7. At number 7 we have Galactica, previously named and themed to air. Many people dislike flying coasters and think they're too uncomfortable, but I quite like Galactica and don't see a problem with its uncomfortableness and smoothness. However, I do believe that the now scrapped edition of virtual reality was unnecessary and I do miss the original Oasis Air music. Now that the VR is gone, I would say Galactica is a few tiers above Air for adding the portal around one of the elements of the ride. As of 2019, the throughput of the ride has improved drastically and makes the overall experience more enjoyable. This ride is amazing fun for kids and adults, and I'll make it a definite for visiting the park. Number 6. Rita makes it to number 6. The Queen of Speed may not be the best coaster of its category, but it still portrays a somewhat unique experience for a first rider. The launch speed of the ride isn't the fastest anymore, but it still manages to give you the unexpected shock every time from my experience. I understand that through the years the launch and the overall feeling of the ride has roughened, but in my opinion it adds to the adventure to the ride, as the roller coaster's purpose isn't supposed to be a smooth sensation. Number 5. The first attraction in the top 5 deserves to go to the best themed madhouse in the United Kingdom, Hex the Legend of the Towers. Hex is a unique attraction as it incorporates the park's history and the actual towers themselves to add to the ride's eeriness and atmosphere. It manages to give you an escape from time feeling and doesn't take you straight to the ride sensation. I'm not going to give away its storyline, but it's easy to understand and very original. Ever since its improvements in 2016, it needs to be on everyone's top 5. Number 4. The world's first drop coaster makes it to the 4th spot. Oblivion has definitely lost hints to its charm over decades, and it isn't the world's best anymore, but it gives practically the same sensation on any vertical drop coaster, and with the use of suspense and music before the drop actually happens, it adds to the pure fear. Oblivion is another staple coaster for the park, and looks like it has many years left in its lifespan. Number 3. The first to make it in the top 3 goes to the Smiler. I'm just fascinated by this ride's unique theme, music, and just overall craziness. The Smiler has a whopping 14 versions and can make you question your existence when constantly going upside down. I would say this is the most unique ride on the park and that it puts everything together perfectly. The Smiler isn't a coaster with a wide range of different track elements, but that doesn't mean it can give a fun experience. The soundtrack is composed by Imascore, and when you listen to it, that will define the coaster for you. Number 2. The recently constructed Wickerman nearly makes it to number 1. The wooden coaster is more of an experience than an actual sensation, as it has wonderful wicker theming throughout the queue line and a nice and basic pre-show. We also cannot forget the nicknamed Big Bob wicker structure in the centre of the ride that features fire effects and mist. The ride is stunning to look at off and on ride and has the best experience at Scarefest. It is a family roller coaster, and if you're above 8, you shouldn't be hesitant to queue for it, as it doesn't have anything overwhelming to offer. Number 1. You can probably guess what my favourite ride at Alton Towers is by now, as it would basically be a sin not to include the iconic Nemesis at the Forbidden Valley. The B&M invert offers the most intense sensation at Alton Towers and manages to maintain smoothness throughout the track. The coaster has a distinct sound when operating around the track and adds to the monster feel the ride's theme tries to portray. A genius idea to incorporate the track as part of the theme is fascinating in my eyes. We also cannot ignore the iconic music created by Graham Smart, known for Bubbleworks and The Vampire. Out of all of the roller coasters on the park, in my opinion, Nemesis is the best overall experience. And with Nemesis done, that leads this video to a close. Before we do end the video, I have one worthy shout out to Theme Park News, who can be accessed in the video description. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and consider subscribing. My name is Dan, and you have been watching Team Theme. Thank you and good night.